Hello lovely viewers, welcome to my channel, Learning English is Faster. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of pronouns. In this video, we will explore essential role pronouns play in our sentence. Our mission, to understand how pronouns help us avoid repetition and make our language flow smoothly. We will uncover the different types of pronouns and see how they bring clarity and variety to our speech and writing. Whether you're a student, a teacher, or just someone looking to improve the English, this channel is for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay up to date with our latest video. Are you ready to become a pronoun expert? Grab your notebook, because this grammar adventure is about to begin. You use pronoun every day. In fact, even if you don't know what pronouns are, you use them. And in this sentence alone, we've now used pronouns 4 times. Pronouns are words or phrases you substitute for nouns when your reader or listener already knows which noun you are referring to. For example, you might say, I have a dog. She's brown and white. There's no need to clarify that you're describing your dog in the second sentence, because you already mentioned her in the first. By using pronouns she, you can avoid annoying repetition of dog. Pronouns do a lot of more than helping us avoid repetitiveness. They provide context, make your sentence meaning clearer, and shape how we perceive people and things. In English grammar, pronouns are a type of generic noun that can represent any other nouns. Their job is to make clarification faster and more efficient, because you don't have to repeat the same word over and over again. Some pronouns, for example, include I, me, us, you, themselves, who, or that. Pronouns are one of the 8 traditional parts of speech, and they are also sometimes understood as making up a small subcategory of nouns. The distinguishing characteristic of pronouns is that they can be substituted for nouns. For instance, if you're telling a story about your sister Sarah, the story will begin to sound repetitive if you keep writing Sarah over and over again. Sarah has always, for example, Sarah has always loved fashion. Sarah announced that Sarah wants to go fashion. But you could try to mix it up by sometimes referring to Sarah as my sister, but then it sounds like you're referring to 2 different persons. Look at this. Sarah has always loved fashion. My sister announced that Sarah wants to go to fashion school. Instead, you can use the pronoun she refers to Sarah after introducing her. Sarah has always loved fashion. She announced that she wants to go to fashion school. Pronouns can replace both proper and common nouns. Certain pronouns have specific rules about when they can be used, such as the way it should never be used to refer to a human being. I will explain all the different types and their associated rules below. Notice that some pronouns, such as which and whose, can function as more than one type, depending on how they're deployed in a sentence. Let's start with understanding what's an antecedent. Remember how we mentioned that in order to use a pronoun, you need to introduce the noun first? The noun has a name and is called antecedent. Antecedents are necessary because pronouns are versatile. Think about it. It can refer to a bike, a tree, a car, or city, and we just use it to refer to something else entirely. Pronouns versatility. Take a look at some examples in which pronouns are bolded and nouns they referring to are underlined to see how antecedent antecedents and pronouns work together. My family tests my patience, but I love them. This sign was too far away for just to read it. Danita said she is almost finished with the application. Antecedents are necessary when the listener knows who or what you are discussing. Generally, you don't need an antecedent for a pronoun like I, you, we, our, or me. But sometimes you do need an antecedent in this kind of situation, like when you are giving a speech where you introduce yourself and your credentials before discussing the subject of your speech. There are also circumstances where you might not introduce the noun first and instead reveal it only after using pronouns to refer to your subject. You might also do this for a dramatic or poetic effect in a piece of creative, for example. Personal pronoun. When you think of pronouns, you might likely think first of personal pronouns. Personal pronouns are pronouns that change from based on the grammatical person, that is based on whether they refer to the person speaking or writing, the first person, the person or thing being spoken to, which is the second person, or the person or thing being spoken about, which is the third person. Here's a list of the main personal pronoun: I, she, he, they, it, we, use, which can also be me, her, him, them, it, us, and you in the same. Here are some examples. Sentence with personal pronoun bolded and the antecedents underlined. The new student will arrive today, so we'll need a sitting assignment and a name tag. My family loves nacho. We make them every Friday for movie night. Exploring relative pronoun. Relative pronoun are another class of pronoun. They connect relative clause to independent clause. Often they introduce additional information about something mentioned in the sentence. Relative pronouns include these words: that, what, which, who, and whom. Traditionally, who refers to people, who refers to people, and which and that refers to animals or things. Here are a few examples of relative pronouns at work. The animal who called earlier didn't leave a message. The woman. The animal. All the dogs that got adopted today will be loved. My car, which is nearly 20 years old, still runs well. Knowing when to use who and when to use who trips a lot of writers up. Telling you. The difference is actually pretty simple. Who is for subjected for a sentence or clause, and whom is for the object of a verb or preposition. Let's see some examples quickly. Who mailed this package? To whom was this package sent? You see the difference? Who is the subject pronoun? It is a subject case, just like I, he, she, they, and we. Whom is an object pronoun, which puts it in the objective case along with me, him, her, them, and us. An easy way to determine whether you should use who or whom in a sentence is to answer the questions by substituting another pronoun that is affected by this. With a new pronoun in place, determine whether the sentence still makes sense. Example: he mailed this package. The package was sent to him. Figuring out when to use whom can be more difficult than knowing when to use who, because it typically comes before the sentence verb when used in the question, as it is often noticed how the sentence of the object pronoun in sample sentence needs to change more dramatically than that of the subject pronoun sentence. That, this, then, those are all demonstrative pronoun. They can point directly to an antecedent or replace one that has already been mentioned or is clear through context. This is used for singular items that are nearby. This is used for this is used for multiple items that are nearby. The distance can be physical or metamorphical. Let's look at some examples. She looked at the envelope and said, "This has no return address. We better add one." What a fantastic idea! This is the best thing I've ever had all day. While that is useful for single items that are farther away, while those is used for multiple items that are farther away. Again, the distance can be physical or metamorphical. Here are a few examples of this pronoun, for example. That would be a nice place to live, they said, pointing at the large house. Some new flowers of soda came last week. Why don't you try some of those? Those aren't swamp. These are geese. Indefinite pronouns. Indefinite pronouns are used to refer generally to a person or thing that does not need to be specifically identified or hasn't already been mentioned. Has already been mentioned. Here are some common indefinite pronouns: one, other, none, some, anybody, no one. Let's look at some examples. Everybody was late to work because of the traffic jam. It matters more to some than to others. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. When an indefinite pronoun functions as the subject of a sentence or clause, it usually takes the singular verb. Let's look at reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns are a form of personal pronoun that end in self or selves. Myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, oneself, ourself, yourself, themselves. You can use a reflexive pronoun as the object of a verb or preposition to refer back to the subject of sentence or clause. Let's look at a few examples. She checked herself out of the hotel 30 minutes before checkout time. Lola made herself a smoothie to bring to class. In the third example above, the antecedent is the implied use that is the subject of an imperative sentence. Using myself when you mean me is a common mistake writers and speakers make. Reflexive pronouns are correct only when the subject and object of the verb are the same. If you're using, for example, a pronoun as an object but it refers to an antecedent that is not subject of the sentence or clause, you use the object pronoun instead. Saying that he asked myself to go for a bite is incorrect. But what is correct is he asked me to go for a bike ride. One example can be: I had promised myself I would accept more invitations. Let's look at intensive pronouns. Intensive pronouns look the same as reflexive pronouns, but the purpose is different because intensive pronouns add emphasis by repeating the antecedent noun or pronoun. Conceptualizing the difference between them and reflexive pronouns can be challenging because the emphasis isn't always obvious. Let's look at some these examples of this intensive pronoun and examine how they are different from examples in the previous section. I told them I could do it myself. It was the idea myself that posed the problem, not the way it was executed. It was the idea itself that posed a problem, not the way it was executed. Compare these two sentences. I built this house. I built this house myself. See how the second one emphasizes that the speaker had no help in building the house? Well, intensity pronoun can help you express pride, shock, disbelief, credulousness, or incredulousness, or another strong emotion. Here, here are more examples. Did you yourself see Loretta spill the coffee? Let's look possessive pronouns. As the name implies, both possessive pronouns and possessive adjective shows ownership. Possessive pronouns are sometimes called independent possessive pronoun or absolute possessive pronoun. They show possession of a noun by replacing it. They look like this: mine, yours, ours, his, her, theirs, its. When you use an independent possessive pronoun, you drop the noun that the pronoun is expressing a relationship to. Let's look at a couple of examples. She had forgotten her jacket, so I gave her mine. I had no idea whose bid had won the auction. But then my cousin told me that they had. Possessive adjective also clarify who or what owns something. Unlike possessive pronouns, which replace nouns, the possessive adjective go before nouns to modify them. They include the following: my, yours, ours, his, her, theirs, its. Let's take a look at this example of possessive adjective in action. I crashed my bike into a telephone pole. Your house is always decorated so nicely. You see, each possessive pronoun also has a form called independent possessive. They look like this: mine, yours, ours, his, hers, theirs, its. When you use an independent possessive pronoun, drop the noun that the pronoun is expressing a relationship to. She had forgotten her jacket, so I gave her mine. I had no idea whose bid had won the auction, but then my cousin told me that they had. Now let's take a look at interrogative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns are used in questions. These are the interrogative pronouns: who, whose, whom, what, which. Let's look at some examples of interrogative pronouns. Who wants a bag of jelly beans? What's your name? Which movie do you want to watch? Whose jacket is this? Now let's look at reciprocal pronouns. There are only two reciprocal pronouns: each other and one other. These pronouns describe a mutual relationship between two or more elements. These pronouns describe a mutual relationship between two or more elements. Let's say some examples. Javier and Priya, the two top sales people on our team, are completely with each other to be named salesperson of the year. All my siblings are blaming one another for letting the boa constrictor outlast Thanksgiving. Now let's take a look at the possessive adjective nouns. Possessive adjective nouns are my, yours, ours, his, and her, and are used to show ownership or possession, like possessive nouns, possessive pronouns before the nouns. They help they help to clarify who or what owns something in a sentence. It can indicate a relationship between the nouns of the owner, making the sentence more specific and descriptive. Distributive pronouns. Distributive pronouns refer to nouns as individual elements or logic group. They enable you to single out individual while acknowledging that they are part of a group. Distributive pronoun includes the following: either, each, neither, any, one, any, none. Let's look at few examples of distributive pronouns in practice. All of my friends entered the costume contest and none of them won. Cookies are muffins and are available for dessert. Neither is appealing to me. Okay, that's it for today. We've journeyed through the fascinating world of pronouns today, from personal and possessive pronouns to reflexive and demonstrative ones. We've covered it all. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more exciting grammar, lesson and language tips. Have any question or need further clarification? Drop a comment below. I love hearing from you. Share this video with friends who might find it useful. Thank you for joining me on this grammar adventure. Your support means a world to me. Stay curious, keep learning. I'll see you in the next video.